Allie with PotomacBeads, and in today's tutorial we're going to be working with some StormDuo beads. As we work with the StormDuo beads, we're going to be making a nice holiday wreath. Whether or not you want to make the wreath in a bright green or more muted colors, you can make the wreath as a cute pendant to hang down and wear for the holidays. You can make it as a pair of earrings, or you can even make it as a pin and put a brooch backing on it as well. So gather up your materials and join me in making this StormDuo wreath pendant, earrings, or brooch. So we're going to begin making our wreath. And to make our wreath, it's going to begin with a series of 10 StormDuos that are separated out with 11 O's and then a 15 O. So we're alternating so the spacing is just right on the actual setting here. And you can see in the example piece, when we pick up the StormDuos, we're going to pick them up all facing the same direction. It honestly doesn't matter which direction you go. You just want to make sure that as you pick them up, they're all curved in the same direction. So in this case, I picked them all up through the skinny part of the curve and came out through the outer edge. Again, I did 10 StormDuos, and for this wreath, I wanted to do a mixture of greens. So I did a mixture of greens and just picked them up in any sort of order that I wanted. So we did 10 StormDuos that are separated, alternating between 11s and 15s. 5 11s will be used and 5 15s. I started out putting a stop bead on the actual piece of thread. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to take our size 10 needle, go back to the beginning of the StormDuos here, and I'm going to take my thread and needle through the beginning 3 StormDuos and the seed beads that are in between. I want the thread and needle exiting one of the StormDuos rather than a seed bead. Taking this then and kind of curving it around, you're going to get the start of your wreath shape. So you can see that start of the wreath shape, right away. From here, we're going to step up from the inner hole of the StormDuo to the exterior hole of that same StormDuo. It's going to put a little bit of thread that's running along the side of the StormDuo. Because we're using green 0.006 wildfire thread, you're not going to see it at all. For our second round of our wreath here, we're going to be adding 2 StormDuos between each of the second holes of the StormDuo from the first row. Again, I'm going to be using 30 StormDuos altogether, and I'm just going to be picking them up in random. Again, picking them up the same direction through, making sure that they're sitting the same way. 2 StormDuos get put on your needle, and then you're going to go into the second hole of the StormDuo from the first row of that row of 10. Give a nice little tight yank. Getting those 2 on. 2 more go on. 1 and 2. And then on to the next hole of the StormDuo. So you can see I have 4 beads on right now. I'm going to add a total of 20 to the second row because there's 2 for every 10 of the original ones. So I'm not going to make you watch me go ahead and string through here, adding on 2 StormDuo beads between each of the second holes of the first row. Once we're done that, we're going to step up again to create going through the second hole of the second row of the StormDuo beads. So we're getting ready to put on our last 2 StormDuo beads, and I'm going to go through that last second hole of the first StormDuo row, as well as the 2 first StormDuos that I put on in this second row of StormDuos. So beads 1 and 2. As you pull your thread through, you just want to make sure you don't have a lot of extra thread showing. And as I come out through that second StormDuo in that first grouping of 2, we're going to again step up. So to step up, we're going to take the thread and needle from the innermost hole of that StormDuo to the outer of that metallic emerald. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be adding in either our 1 by 2 millimeter rondelle or our RounDuo mini bead. They're going to alternate along the design. The RounDuo mini is going to be put in between the 2 groupings of disc duos, and then between the opening or the gap that's created by the first one is going to go the crystal. So it's going to alternate going through, putting on a RounDuo mini in that lava red color, through my second hole of that RounDuo or of the StormDuo, then goes on a crystal. Next to here, on goes a RounDuo Mini. So you don't need to overthink this, it's just every other alternates between that RounDuo Mini and the crystal. Now, if you want it to look like more berries, you can go ahead and switch out colors and obviously do this in whatever design you want. But go ahead and continue on adding in that alternating pattern till we get back to the first RounDuo Mini, and then we'll again step up from the innermost hole to the outer hole of that RounDuo Mini. So as you go around and you're putting in the last of your crystals, you're going to end up, because you're using 20 StormDuo beads, with 10 of your RounDuo Minis and 10 of your crystals. I'm adding my last bead into this row, and I'm going to go through the last StormDuo as well as that first RounDuo Mini bead that I added. Again, as I was saying earlier, we're going to step up on this one too, going from the innermost hole to the outer hole along that RounDuo Mini. After coming out the RounDuo Mini, we're going to start adding some 15 seed beads. These are going to be done in a series of 3, adding on 3 seed beads and taking your thread and needle through the crystal, so not through the StormDuo at all, through the crystal. As you exit the crystal then, you're going to add 3 more beads, and we're going to go up through the second hole of the next RounDuo Mini bead. From here again, it's just repeated. 3 go on, and I'm going through then the next crystal bead. So you're always going from the RounDuo Mini to the crystal, adding the seed beads in that group of 3. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this a total of 20 times, going around and having that little arching effect going in here. In the example piece, I did use 8 seed beads. If you don't have crystals or you don't want as much of that bling, that's an alternative. That an 8 seed bead is going to be about the same size as the 1 by 2 millimeter rondelle. So I have the last 3 seed beads ready to put on my needle, and I'm going to go back through that first RounDuo bead that I originally was coming out of with my thread. Coming out of this RounDuo Mini, I can go ahead in and create a little ladder stitch bail. In this case, I would add 3 seed beads and then just continue looping around to get that little ladder stitch bail. What I'm going to show you is a little bit easier, and it's just to add a wire guard. So to add the wire guard, I'm going to use 2 15s, and then I'm going to go up through a gold wire guard, and this is going to be my bail. I'm going to come down the wire guard on the opposite side here. And as I come down the wire guard then, you're just going to make sure that your thread is actually sitting right inside that little interior link there, that little arched area. Pull the wire nice and tight down towards that RounDuo Mini. Add 2 more seed beads, and then I'm going to sew again from the right side towards the left. That's going to put those seed beads right at the top there and have that bail ready to go. Reinforcing them, we're going to go up through those seed beads that we just added, up through that wire guard, and get that reinforced in there, since that's where you're going to have a jump ring, or your pendant can go right onto there too. You can do it right onto an actual cording or chain. They're even light enough, honestly, that they could be a pair of earrings too. Little Christmas ornament, all kinds of different uses. As I come down through the other side then, all I'm going to need to do is go through the 2 seed beads here along the edge. And then I'm going to backtrack through the project, so that way I can tie off the thread ends. I'm going to snake back through the RounDuo, come out through the StormDuo, go back through the bottom hole of the round StormDuos, through that one there, down to here, circle around, and tie off the thread ends. So literally just snaking the thread back together till I get to that central point where I can join the threads, tying them off, and then taking my thread burner and burning that off. Such an easy, cute pendant that again can be used for an ornament, a pair of earrings. You can even do some birthstones if you want to do it as a family ornament as well. So a lot of different uses for these StormDuo wreaths. Thanks so much for joining me and watching me make the StormDuo Wreath pendant. Again, keep in mind you can get all of the materials from us at PotomacBeads.com as well as PotomacBeads.eu. Underneath the video, near the like and subscribe button, is a little description button. If you press the description button underneath the video, it'll give you links to the exact products that were used in the video. Keep in mind that it's listed at the beginning exactly how many beads you need in order to make the project. As always, you can stay connected with us from our website, from our Facebook page, as well as our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. It's really a great interactive community that love to make jewelry, love to help, and are really, really excited to enhance the creativity and the craft of bead making. As always, thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays and have fun making the StormDuo Wreath pendant.